The Danish city of Copenhagen. Copenhagen is the capital of Denmark and its largest city in terms of population, with about 560,000 inhabitants. The number of its residents, together with the surrounding suburbs, reaches approximately 1,300,000 people.
Copenhagen is considered the political, cultural, and economic center, and it is also the main port of Denmark. It is also home to one of the oldest universities in Europe, the University of Copenhagen.
Copenhagen lies across two neighboring islands. Its larger western part is located on the eastern coast of Zealand Island. The smaller part, known as Christianshavn, is situated on Amager Island. Several bridges connect the two parts of the city.
The origin of the name Copenhagen.
The Danes pronounce the name of their capital as Copenhagen. This name came from the fact that the city was once a harbor and a trading center. The original name of the city, from which the current name was derived, was Købmandshavn, which means the merchant's harbor.
The history of the city of Copenhagen. The city of Copenhagen, until the middle of the 12th century, was a small fishing village. It later developed into a town. As the importance of its harbor grew, its significance gradually increased until it became the capital of Denmark.
In the middle of the 15th century, Copenhagen suffered greatly because of the wars, which destroyed many parts of the city throughout its history, especially the wars between the Kingdom of Denmark and its neighbors in the Baltic region.
Between the 19th and 20th centuries, the city transformed into the most important economic and political center in Denmark after the establishment of its modern port in 1894. After that time, the industrial movement began to develop in Copenhagen. After the outbreak of the Second World War, Nazi Germany occupied Denmark, including Copenhagen, between 1940 and 1945. At that time, the Danish government reached an agreement with the Nazi authorities in order to remain in power.
Adolf Hitler, at that time, declared that he wished for the state of Denmark to become a model to be followed among the countries placed under Nazi protection. By the year 1943, cooperation between the Danish government and the German forces had collapsed, and the Danish warships were scuttled by the Danes themselves in order to prevent the Nazis from using them in the war.
At the same time, Nazi forces began arresting Jews. However, most of them managed to escape to neighboring Sweden. On the 8th of May 1945, at the end of the Second World War, 30,000 German soldiers surrendered to the British commander, and afterwards Denmark's independence was declared. The 4th of May has remained the day of celebrating Independence Day, and it is still commemorated today. In the center of Copenhagen lies a main square called the City Hall Square. From the square branch out the main roads and streets. On both sides of the square are offices of commercial companies, hotels, and recreational areas.
Copenhagen is considered an important industrial center in Denmark. Among the city's key industries are diesel engines, chemical products, foodstuffs, furniture, sports equipment, and musical instruments. Copenhagen's port is also an important financial and economic center for Denmark, the Scandinavian region, and the Baltic Sea, as it is considered a gateway to more than 100 million consumers in the Baltic Sea region. Copenhagen Port is one of the largest ports in Northern Europe, as it extends over an area of 500 hectares and contains 10 piers, as well as storage warehouses covering an area of 200,000 square meters.
Copenhagen is home to many tourist destinations and important landmarks that attract visitors to the city. Among the most famous are Tivoli Gardens, Amalienborg Palace, Copenhagen Cathedral, and the Opera House. These sites draw numerous tourists and visitors from across Europe and the world.